like to call this meeting to order. We'll begin with any public comment related to any of the agenda items. None heard. Item for information, move it to Mr. Scott Reed.
Thank you. First, I'll start with the business office activity report. A few things to highlight here. You guys have the bill to be paid listing. If there's any particular check vendor you have a question, let us know so we can provide further detail. The number one document in there is the balance sheet report. This reflects the district's assets, liabilities, and fund balance for all funds. Main focus during the year is typically on the general fund and specifically the cash and investment balances to ensure sufficient cash flow to cover payroll and operations. Currently, the general cash fund is sufficient for short-term needs. Number two is your bank balance report. This report captures the monthly bank activity at a high level for all district accounts. The overall cash balance in general fund has decreased by $213,000, but despite the district's revenue decreasing to $4.6 million shown below due to the current state budget impasse. So overall, with that being said, at this time, we know it will drop. If they continue to have the budget impasse, it can drop in further months, but right now we're being prudent about our spending and everything to be able to keep it at a current level. Number three is the revenue account summary report. This provides budgets for its actual for each general fund revenue account. And then there's some tables down there to show you. Point out that it being early in the fiscal year, that the actual year to date, the remains showing negative, but that's just because we'll spend it as the year goes out. Local revenue is down $843,000 from prior year, but generally this could be time related to depending on when revenues are collected and remitted to the district. The decrease in earned income tax revenue mirrors the real estate taxes with a $100,000 decrease. We'll have a better sense of all the collections in October and November. And then our state revenue is pointed out before with the budget impasse. We're $3.5 million decrease. District will need to continue to rely on current flat cash flow and local revenue sources for the foreseeable future till the budget passes. And then we have the expense report, provides a good report at a higher level on where expenses stand by function and object code, and there's also a table for that. Our district's four highest operating expenses categories are equipment, property, salaries and benefits, tuition, which are to charter, private school, VOTEC, and then our transportation. The actual expenses below meet expectations with our DCED grant project occurring and activity leading up to the start. And also with that DCE grant, we are expecting a reimbursement shortly.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Yep. Thank you for kicking off tonight's meeting. So again, thank you all for coming out to tonight's agenda review meeting. We appreciate you all being here. The last time we had a meeting, school didn't start yet, so now school's going. Heard some great things going on so far, that the school has been kicking off. We've also had, a few eventful, things take place in our community. We'll be transparent, we will address those things, but again, we really do appreciate everyone coming out tonight. And again, just thank you for being here. So before we go into important presentations, we'll put our superintendent, who is currently virtual at the moment. We're going to go into just a little bit about, what everyone's wondering, what happens, and regarding the missing student this month. So I got a few key talking points, we'll go ahead and address and talk about, because we believe in being transparent. We believe in letting you all know what happened and then how to ensure you all, want to remain safe and continue to send your kids, to this district, so that's what we're going to talk about really fast. So if you don't know, on Tuesday, September 2nd at approximately 11:50 a.m., a kindergarten student at Sto-Rox Primary Center wandered away from the playground area during recess. Law enforcement was notified immediately, and the full search of the building and surrounding areas was conducted. The student was located safely in the wooded area behind the primary center with the assistance of police, firefighters, EMS, in that drone at approximately 8 p.m. So first and foremost, I want to thank everyone for coming out and helping out. I mean, everyone you could think about came out. The entire community really stepped up, in a moment to where there's a lot of uncertainty. Even heard a bunch of folks saying that this is why I'm still here in McKees Rocks. This is why I'm still here in Sto-Rox, because of the community and the way that the community steps up. And we're very happy, we're very proud to know that when something goes on, there may be some bickering every now and then. It happens. That's what a family does. We bicker once in a while, but when it comes to our own, we take care of it. We take care of our own. So I'm really happy to know that everyone was out and about everywhere, stopping in stores. Have you seen this student X, Y, and Z? And fortunately, we found the student, and it was a successful operation from top down, right? Are there a few things that we're working on? Oh, for sure. We are, but we are happy to know that the student was found safely. And then it also opened up a few things to us. Say, hey, we're already working on these things, but now we're going to bump them to the top of the list right now, right? There's things that we already have plans on doing, but you know what? We can't hold off on those anymore now because of the second order effects and what can happen. So again, we're happy to know that this was a successful search, and we're happy. So again, we're deeply relieved that the student was found safe and recognized as the significant impact the incident had on the student's family, staff, and the community. During the search, the admin team, including myself as the board president, teachers, we all remained on site, and we all followed law enforcement directions while first responders conducted the search. Following the event, the admin team conducted a thorough review of current practices and student safety procedures. The district held school the following day and provided additional support staff to assist any students or staff member who may have needed counseling or guidance. We're committed to being as transparent as possible about the situation. We're respecting the privacy of the student and their family. We're open to discussing the safety protocols and procedures we're taking for all students, regardless of IEP or other considerations. So what's coming next? What are we doing to make sure that folks, are going to be safe? We have reviewed playground resource procedures and strengthened them as necessary. We have, with our building and grounds, our folks and whatnot, and our lead, Mr. Zach Simpson, obtained quotes to install a fence on the playground with keypad or code entry instead of additional padlock. We ensure proper documentation is maintained, updated, and accessible for all students. And we will continue to provide counseling and resources to all students, staff, families affected by this event. I want to acknowledge and show gratitude for, again, the community response. Everyone came out. I mean, it was so overwhelming, in the sense that where people were trying to go into the area, at the last known location. We had to keep on saying, hey, thank you all very much, but please stay out of that area, so we can let the first responders and the dogs, do their job, right? But they just wanted to help out no matter what. And again, we're grateful for that. The first responder from Kennedy Township, the surrounding area, Sto-Rox staff, the AIU, Pennsylvania Department of Education, Salvation Army, other partners like the state troopers were out, Allegheny County Housing Authority, Allegheny County Sheriff's Office, they were all out. Everyone was instrumental in safely locating the student. We sincerely thank all first responders, Sto-Rox staff, and community partners for their rapid response, professionalism, and support during this incident. We also extend gratitude to community members who assisted by checking their yards and reviewed home security footage, taking their search. I know every single home was knocked on. Every single person allowed them to review their footage to make sure that nothing went missing. So again, we're very grateful. We're very thankful that it was successful. And we're proud of the community's support and response to make sure that this was successful no matter what. With that being said, we'll open to questions. I'll say that for a second. Open to questions for a few minutes if there are any. If not, we'll continue. Yes, ma'am. You mind coming up to the podium, please?
You said you were going to explain how this happened. So could you explain to us how this happened so we can understand?
So what I will explain to you, what happened, Fanny. So basically, they were out at recess. Mm-hmm. in a moment's notice. So we reviewed everything, right? The teacher did everything right. Let's first say that.
What was the student to staff ratio? So the teacher, so was it one teacher? How
So
many students?
I wasn't there personally, so I honestly don't know that right now in the classroom. I wasn't there, so sorry for that. Not having that answer directly in front of you right now. But the teacher did everything right. Did everything right. They were watching the students the whole nine. It's a matter of literally turning their head for a second to get things in order with other kids. And then unfortunately, child did wander off. And then as soon as it happened, the alarm was sounded immediately.
How many paraprofessionals? Were there any paraprofessionals there?
Out there currently working with the class at the point in time, I don't have that answer right now.
Okay. And in regard to, you said we are already working on those things that you guys plan on implementing. What are some of those things?
So some of those things, I'm glad you asked that. So I mentioned in here, so a fence for one, right? Pennsylvania doesn't require a fence to be put up at schools. Doesn't mean that we weren't already working on that. So again, we were actually already working on that. But it wasn't at the top of our list right now because of funding and everything else going on with the freeze and the whole nine, right? But we're working on a fence. And fortunately for us, we had other schools say, hey, you know what, we can help out. We had PDE, Promoted Education, say, you know what, how can we help? And I mean, they were in lockstep with us the whole nine. Our chief recovery officer is here, Dr. Rabel. And, she has a sure line with it as well. But not only her, Mrs. Coleman, who actually wasn't there, superintendent actually wasn't there, she was also on the phone getting things going in the right direction, right? So, I mean, it was a constant communication, a constant flow of, hey, how can we help? So, again, other schools were saying, hey, we have extra fencing we can offer you all. PDE said, hey, we have fencing we can have things that can help you out and expedite, your process of buying. And that, so a fence is one of the biggest things, we're making sure that we're putting up expeditiously and making sure that, only we have access to that to make sure that everyone's safe no matter what. And
in the meantime, are students still allowed to play there during recess?
So one thing we're not going to do is we're not going to rob, these kids, of their experience. We did have a conversation about, do we bring the kids inside going forward until we get things done? And we thought about that for a long time. But, we said that we can't punish kids, for a gap that may have been there, with the district. Let's be transparent, right? We can't punish kids because of that gap. So it's not something we say, we're going to continue to allow kids to go outside. We're going to continue to do the things right because, again, that teacher did everything right.
With that being said, do you have extra staff out there then, since you don't have the fencing up yet?
We did talk about that, making sure that we have someone out there as well, and that's something that we have worked on, something that we did put in place, as far as having someone else out there just to kind of help out, as necessary and everything. So yes, the answer is yes.
Yeah, I mean, this student is autistic, is on the spectrum. They are nonverbal. What's being done in the future to assist students that are in the same boat as the student? I mean, they have different challenges compared to other students in your district, or maybe similarly, but it's different.
That's a good question. I don't want to go too far into this exact student's situation, but what I will say, on that note is we're going to continue to follow the procedures that we have in place already, right? So what I can say, and this is one thing I'll say to you, when we get students that come into our building, right, we have paperwork that has to get done the whole nine. That way we know where to put the students in, right? What class we have to go in X, Y, and Z. When this student was in our building, we did not have the paperwork back from the family just yet. So we have to act accordingly. We don't have the paperwork back yet. We have to act accordingly. I believe we got the paperwork back at, I want to say 11:42. The student went missing at 11:50. Mm-hmm. That's how fast that was.
You're saying the paperwork, the correct paperwork to provide the child with the proper resources.
Exactly. That got turned into us literally at about 11:40, 11:42.
And we get escalated far ahead of the state.
Exactly. So we make sure that we're following steps to the T. It's just a matter of, so we got it.
So in the
10 minutes later.
In the future, do you plan on changing your protocols so that parents know, if you're going to admit your child and they're coming in and they have certain challenges, you submit your paperwork on time?
So, I will say that it's an expectation no matter what, even before this, after this. It's already an expectation to make sure that things are getting done no matter what. But we're going to continue to encourage folks that, hey, get it back to us ASAP, right? There's no one's, I'm not gonna say it's no one's fault it happened, right? Because, things got done. But as soon as it got back to us, we took the proper steps, and we're going to encourage, everyone to, hey, listen, paperwork, when you get it back to us ASAP so we can make the proper steps.
Yeah, some people would say, you're here answering these questions, but what about the superintendent? Where is she?
So I will tell you right now, this is already a schedule. She already had planned this out months in advance. We knew she was not going to be here today no matter what. You know what I mean? And that's due to things she has going on, in her life with family and training, X, Y, and Z, right? Things that we're requiring her to do. So I will personally say, and during the incident, unfortunately the incident happened, but that was something that was planned before we even hired her. We knew about these dates already scheduled out in the calendar that she would not be there. So we knew that. And she is here right now. She's virtual right now. So she can probably hear you talking right now. But she is here. She's just not here in person. But I want to make sure that I say that one more time that, I know, what was that? But I want to make sure that I say that, one more time that she is present. She's active. We're getting things done. She's the workhorse. We're not in the buildings every single day as far as the board goes. She is. And her team, they are working hard to get things done nonstop. She is there. She's been, with the parent, you know what I mean? She's been to the parents' home, talking to them, helping them out, resources, X, Y, and Z. She makes phone calls, so she is present. So because you don't see her right now, she is present. I will say that right now. She's present, and we support her 1,000%, because she's getting things done.
You're saying the teacher did everything right, so no one faced any disciplinary actions because of this?
So we did a full investigation on what happened.
You investigated yourselves?
Say again?
The investigation was conducted by the district itself, or was there a third party?
So our superintendent looks at all of our protocols, looks at everything. Again, we do have our state rep in here as well, but our superintendent looked at every single protocol, what happened, from before it started, after it happened, right? And we'll let up to the facts and whatnot. Whenever she conducted that review about every single last thing with her team, it was determined that the teacher did everything right. So it's an unfortunate incident, and I'll say that, right? And obviously, we all do care. Students back in school, having fun, having a good time, honestly, happy, right? You would think nothing happened. You know what I mean? The way the child is reacting in school, right? You would think nothing's happening. He's having a great time in school. But how do you punish someone for doing everything right? It was unfortunately turned the head for a quick second, turned back around, made the phone call. Hey, this is what's going on right now. Because do you now, and I'm gonna say this, do you now stop and chase the student and then leave your other students, subjected to whatever, may happen after that? Or just do you do what you're supposed to be doing, where sound the alarm and get help as soon as possible? And that's what she did.
Yeah. Would you all be able to share the findings of the investigation with us? I mean, how long was the investigation?
This is an internal investigation. We cannot share an HR matter publicly.
Thank you.
Okay, and so could you also tell us why you're here? I mean, I know he can't really speak to the student to staff ratio. Could you speak to that for us?
I can. It was 17 students to one staff member.
One staff member. And as it is right now, you all are still letting them go outside and play for recess. Are the teachers being provided with extra staff members to help them at the time being?
There's an extra security guard outside. They're outside for 14 minutes for recess.
14 minutes per recess.
14 minutes at that time for recess.
For recess. And how long is recess?
14 minutes. 14 to 15 minutes. By the time they get them set up in their zones. So they're in zones, so they added another checkpoint. So on the outside perimeter, there's an extra security guard until the fencing goes up.
Okay. Any idea when the fence will be going up?
We're doing bids right now. As you know, we're a public institution, so we have to do a procurement process and take 3 bids and go through all of that. So I cannot give you an exact timeline, and nor do I want to put out a date that might be incorrect.
Okay, and lastly, anything you all want to say to the Jackson family or members of the district, parents who may not feel comfortable with what happened, or they may not feel all the way okay with, their children being outside for recess, given what happened?
We actually spoke to the family and to our entire community right after this
Mhm.
happened, to ensure them we do everything we can in our power to keep our students safe. The one thing I cannot say is I can't make empty promises. This was something that was unforeseen. We followed our normal policies and procedures, and this happened. And so I would love to sit here and say, I promise you, a student won't fall on the playground and scrape their knee. That I cannot do. But what I can say is we make every single effort every single day to ensure every single student is safe in our building.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, now we'll move on to reports presentations. Welcome, Mrs. Coleman. We'll go straight into our superintendent's report for September 2025.
Good evening, members of the board, administrators, community, family, and staff. My report this month is kind of lengthy. So what I'm going to do, because everyone has had access to it, I'm going to highlight particular areas of it. And in the future, I'm hoping that I can synthesize it a little more and make it more of a PowerPoint. So it's not a 7-page document that you have to read through, but it was really hard to just pull out just a few things. So I want to start with student achievement and instruction. So at the beginning of the school, we did conduct our MAP assessment. So the district brought in MAP assessments last year, which assesses students in reading and math in grades K to 12. And so why I'm bringing this up is because last year we only had a little over 500 students tested. This year we've tested 800 students. Why that is important is because that will now allow us to identify what students truly need interventions and what students truly need enrichment. We know that we have, and we talked about this at our last board meeting, a gap when it comes to reading and mathematics. And so we're now able to identify early what are our tiered intervention supports that need to be in place for our students. And then having said that, within my report, you'll see where we've implemented two intervention programs, one Lexia English and one Alex Math in our K to 8 in our K to 8 grades and at the high school as well as aligned our English curriculum at grades 7 to 12, which was a gap that was missing. Additionally, you've heard me talk about our priorities. So if we're going to have a robust aligned curriculum, we have to ensure that our teachers are trained as well. And so with that, you'll see throughout the report where teachers and administrators have had the opportunity to receive training on both Lexia and Alex. Training actually took place yesterday and will be rolled out to teachers over the course of next week so that they can start implementing that in their class. Additionally, I always like to put a little bit of data up there when we look under climate and culture. Attendance is so far this year is at 87%. It's only slightly higher. I'd hoped it would have been a little higher than last year, but honestly, it's only about 2 points higher than last year, but a win is a win. We've also updated our threat assessment protocols to ensure we have up-to-date systems and procedures in place. We've started our student assistance programs at all of our buildings to look at what students need additional supports, whether it be in the classroom or social emotional. Operations. I know Zach will be talking a little bit about the things that have happened in operations in terms of some repairs that have been completed with our bleachers and the final bids that have come in for fencing at our primary school. We additionally have rolled out some additional technology supports at the high school all the way down to our primary school. with our Chromebooks, and kindergarten students utilizing iPads. Something new this year is we switched our transportation services to TransFinder. The beautiful part about this is parents will have access. We're hoping to roll this feature out to parents in mid-November, which is viewfinders, where parents will have up-to-date access on where their students are when it relates to bus routes, if a bus is running late, or if something happens and there's a delay in transportation. So the goal is to roll that out in mid-November. Additionally, we got approved for our fruit and veggie program for our primary and upper school. So we got a grant for that. So that is in the report. Scott Reed has already reviewed our budget, so I won't repeat that. If you go down to 5 under human resources, we know that we had a resignation at the dean of students position. So thus far, there are 12 applicants. We're still looking for paraprofessionals. There's currently 8 applications. We've done some interviews, and honestly, none rose to the top of being selected. In terms of retention, one of the things we're looking at so that we're not pulling teachers and having them give up their planning time to always cover classroom, we're looking at bringing in a substitute staffing service. We've met with 3 of them, Kelly Services, Precision HR, and STS, as a staffing agency to help us with some of our not just vacancies, but our needs when teachers and paraprofessionals are out due to illness. Another thing I want to highlight is just the number of professional developments that have taken place already this year with teachers and leaders. Principals receive training on teacher evaluation systems. Teachers receive training on co-teaching in the classroom. And then down to our community events, as many of you guys know, we had our first annual community and school partner meet and greet that took place on this past Tuesday. I think it went really well. The goal of that was really to bring all of our community partners together so that we're really talking across the aisles with one another and collaborating a little more so that we're hitting the same goals and objectives. There weren't any policy updates to date. Some of our challenges just continue to be ABC is still looking for bus drivers and the continual shortage of paraprofessionals. And I'm saving the best part for last under celebrations. If you can scroll to celebrations, 24 of our seniors attended the Infinite Scholarship College Fair hosted by Pittsburgh Public Professional Development Center. And we had 3 students that already received academic scholarships. And we need to make sure we celebrate them. I've reached out to their parents and I'm hoping they can attend our board meeting next week. I do believe Jaya will be able to be there. Jaya already received 18,000 in an academic scholarship that's per year from Point Park, and 20,000 from LaRoche University, depending on which way she decides to go. Rain Boxley received $23,000 per year in a freshman trustee scholarship, and Eric Richardson received a $20,000 merit scholarship already. It's only September, and students are already receiving scholarship dollars. We're really trying to get a focus when we look at moving forward, this focus on college and careers and getting our students exposed early to early admissions into college and scholarship dollars that are out there. So I really want to celebrate them and also highlight our primary schools who opened their first calming room, which is located in their main office for students who need a moment to self-regulate, that might be having some social emotional concerns at that time. So those are the items I want to report on. As you're looking through this document, if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them for you.
No questions heard. Thank you, ma'am. And definitely looking forward to recognizing those kids next week at the board meeting. We're looking forward to that. Thank you for that. Up next, we'll have our Chief Recovery Officer, Dr. Nancy Rebel, with an amended financial recovery plan update.
Thank you so much. And if I might just combine comments under this section, if that would be okay with you, with also the next page, the actual resolution under B2. So the resolution reads, approve the recommendation of the Chief Recovery Officer and following a 30-day period of public review that commenced on August 25th, 2025, the Board of School Directors hereby adopts the proposed amended Financial Recovery Plan 2025, which is intended to serve as a supplement to the original Financial Recovery Plan 2022. So this is a very exciting time for Sto-Rox. Just reminding you that one of the reasons it benefits the district to consider and to adopt an amended plan is to memorialize accomplishments and also to target and switch gears thinking in light of exit and what specifically must the district do in terms of daily practice adjustments, quantifiable evidence and so forth to qualify for exit, and that is our shared goal. I also want to, for the record purposes, just list a few things that may seem very minor to you, but it's more of a procedural thing for me to do this on the record. So we had a document, it was released publicly as of August 25th. Next Thursday, September 25th, I'll be asking you all to adopt that. But I want to be transparent that there are a couple checks, although that document was shared, it continues to be reviewed, and the more you read something, you catch a few things. So I want to just put this on the record if I could. On page 4 of that document, there's a reference to the number of board members governing the district, and there's a reference to August at the time of the development. So what I want to be very transparent about, we're going to adjust that number on the day of your vote. So I'm going to make sure August is changed to September, and however many board members we anticipate that day, that's what that number will reflect. There's absolutely.
I was concerned. Thank you.
Yes. There's also some inconsistency. It has nothing to do with you all, but the authors, the members of the team, we've been tweaking, changing capitalization, punctuation, and so forth. We've been inconsistent with some of our use of red to draw the reader's attention in specific tables, so I'm going to make sure that those are consistent. May seem simple, but again, I need to put it on the record because we're under public review. Page 10, there was a list of items and commas were not used correctly, so we're going to adjust that. Pages 80 and 112, the use of capitalization, it's not consistent with other tables, and so that we will make sure that those rules are followed. Pages 33 and 95, there is a reference to special education students. I think it is more appropriate and more respectful to say students who qualify for specially designed instruction. So there will be that change. Pages 70 and 107, there's a reference to strategy specific to discipline. Well, there's no silver bullet strategy. That really should say strategies, plural. And then finally, guiding principle number 3 is referenced twice in the document, page 4 and 23. There is a reference to alternative programming, and I am opting to substitute that to high quality programming. So that's a quick summary of what might be different from that original document. I will make sure Martha has the revised document. We'll leave the reference to board member numbers fluid, and we'll adjust it the day of. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Anyone have any questions? None heard. All right. So speaking of board members, and we're very excited to know that we received 2 letters of interest to join the board just within the past, couple of days, honestly. Um, I think actually once you posted it on social media, a lot of folks just start clicking. So thank you for that. With that being said, I want to go ahead and welcome first Amanda Donia up to the podium, please, up to the microphone. And she'll be interviewed for the Region 3 at-large board vacancy. So if you don't mind, just telling us who you are, where you're from, etc., and then why you want to be a school board member.
My name's Amanda Donia. I have lived in McKees Rocks for about 15 years. Grew up in Moon, so the whole Moon, Sto-Rox, like we used to play you guys. I have 3 biological children. They're all older. Lexi's actually getting married, just bought a house in Coriopolis. So we're excited for her. Connor and Tyler are both in school. And then my wife and I are foster parents. And we have had 15 placements. 5 we have adopted. We are working on number 6. Hopefully that's December or January. And I want to stay here. I want to be a part of what's going on. I've got little guys. They're going to be coming through the system. So I've got, Tayshawn is 10. Leia's 9. Miles, who is level 2 autistic, needs a lot of support. He's going to be going to kindergarten next year. I have Ashton, who also will be going to kindergarten. I have Braden, who's 3, and then I have Tally. So I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of the recovery. I also coach baseball for Sto-Ken. I coach the farm team, coach team. And then I moved up last year when Tayshawn moved up. And I've kind of got a rapport with the kids, with the parents, and everybody's like, oh, well, if Coach Amanda's not coaching, we don't want our kids to play. It's like I feel like I did a good job as a coach, and I'm a good foster parent, so now it's kind of like time to go to the next level. I like where the district is headed. I think there's some really important people that are in place to get things where they need to be, and I'm excited to see what Sto-Rox can bring for the kids.
The table's open, the floor is open. Any questions? Sure. Wow.
Kind of
Go
quiet.
ahead. Go ahead. You got a question? I think you kind of answered it, but we spoke about this a long time ago and full circle and X, Y, and Z, right? Why now? Why now?
Life is slowing down as a foster parent, and I'm ready to put something in where I have got time now. It's hard having a 6 under 6 because we were there. But now they're all older and they're getting into their own stuff, and I've got time. I've got a free evening here, but there's no baseball.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of why, now Cam actually approached me, 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And that was before we even had the baby. And I'm like, oh, we've got so many littles running around. It's not time yet. So life has slowed down until the county brings on, another placement for me.
All right.
But right now life has slowed down. So I think it's time to broaden my horizons, to step out and do something more than just baseball.
Appreciate that. Thank you. So what comes next is next week at our meeting, we will vote, on you and the other interest party. We'll vote. You get a yes, then welcome to the board. We'll go from there. If you get a no for some reason, then you have ways where you can go ahead and still apply to be appointed to the board anyways, right? So, but I'll say this now early. I'm looking forward to you coming up on the team. I think you're going to bring a really great sense of pride, a great sense of urgency, a great sense of, hey, I know what I'm doing. Let me help out. You know what I mean? And we need that. You know what I mean? We do. We have a strong team. And I'm proud to admit that. But I do think you're only going to add to that, so look forward to it.
Awesome. And I love these kids. Like I told you on the phone,
Mhm.
I've had kids from all walks of life. I've had kids, as you know, the foster system is rough. I've got Jake and Baby. I have drug addicted. We've had, bio parents that are still involved. So I can meet these kids where they're at. I get it. We've taken kids right out of Southwood. I don't know if you know what Southwood is. We've had a 13-year-old who was drug addicted, and we were going to rehab with him. So I kind of get where these kids are coming from. I think I can be like on a personal level with them because we worked with them for a long time.
It says something too. I love how, if you don't mind, Tayshawn, I love 2 years ago when we had him in Little Vikings, and from day one, just shy, really small kid, you know.
He's still tiny.
He's still tiny,
He's still tiny.
but towards the end of the season, playoffs, championship, the whole nine, he was looked at as he feels like a giant on the field, you know, and he really did his job. And the way you all interacted and the way you helped build him up as well as the coaches, it was amazing to see that transformation. And if you can do that, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing
He's
what you
doing
do.
great now. I mean,
I know
straight
he is.
A's,
I'm proud of him.
very respectful. You know,
Proud of him.
They're all good kids. Every kid is a good kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just need love. They're like flowers.
Love it. Well, thank you. We appreciate
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you. And then I'm not sure if she's virtual or not. We haven't got a response back, but the next one is Paige Hoffman, interviewing for the Region 2 board vacancy, Sto. I know she hasn't got a response back via email or phone call, but I want to double check. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that.
She said she didn't see her.
Okay. Thank you. So now we're going to the non-consent agenda. Board meeting minutes, waive and approve the reading of August 28th, 2025, Sto-Rox School District Board of Directors. Number 2, waive and accept the reading of the June 3rd, 2025 voting meeting minutes of the Parkway West and Technology Center Board of Directors. Any questions? Financial Management, pass over to Mr. Reed.
So approve the payments that, from the general funds that the September board report that you all got. Any questions or concerns on anything?
I heard. Dr. Rabel already hit item number 2. Any other comments, Dr. Rabel, for that, by chance? Thank you, ma'am. And number 3, approve resolution to change administrators on the PSDLAF bank account for Sto-Rox School District. There's also the Scott Reed, business manager, and Sandra Lorquet, assistant business manager, to manage the account. This removes JMA LLC, Butler Agnew, and associates employees Chad Agnew, Janie Martin, and Aura Rigozine. Any questions? None heard. Operations. Approve the following ABC Transportation employees for Sto-Rox School District: Angel Diggs, Ivory Gilmore, Natalie Perko, all van drivers. Number 2, accept the Donuts Truth Projects awarded for Heather O'Hara, Clothing Project, Bending Skills and Supplies, Molly Smith, Bright, Flexible, and Engaging Tools, Ashley Dickinson, 8 boxes of facial tissues, Janae Spear, Classroom Essentials, and Chrissy Chihalo, Tech Supply Organization. Any questions? Approved facility request by Aaron Pierce for track and Sto-Rox School District for a mental health event on October 16th from 3:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. on a Sto-Rox Junior Senior High School football field. Is Ed online by chance? Mr. Pierce online?
He is not. I have a meeting with them on Friday to discuss additional details about the event.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Is this the Harvest Fest?
This is the Harvest Fest. You saying that wrong, she said? Do you know, Mrs. Coleman, is this the Harvest Fest?
Yes, it is. I'm sorry. There's an echo.
Sorry about that. Thank you, ma'am. Accept the donation for Robert Morris University for the following items for for the upper house system rewards: 3 pairs of RMU socks, 3 hard plastic water travel cups, 3 plastic water bottles. Mrs. Johnson, you online?
I am online. I wanted to let you know that staff, um, Brianna Fraser, Alexis Ongetti, and Chris Scarnati did letters. They sent them out and have followed up to get prizes for our house point system, which will be beginning in October. We will be rolling from the Viking Bucks to the house points, from our travels to the Ron Clark Academy in Atlanta from July.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Any questions? Accept the anonymous donation of a washer and dryer to Sto-Rox Athletic Department. Retroactively approved the facility use request for the Pittsburgh Basketball Club for September 15th, 16th, 22nd, 23rd, 29th, 30th, October 6th, 7th, 13th, 14th, 2021, and playoffs for October 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th at the upper. Any questions? Accept 25 meal cards from the Chick-fil-A Robinson to be used for prizes for the house system at Upper Elementary and Braden Craig Regional Director. Mrs. Johnson.
This goes with the same campaign that the teachers have done, along with, I believe, the Danny's Hair Loft, which is also coming up on the board agenda.
Thank you, man. I was going to ask you, for those who may be online new or in person new, if you can explain what the house system is really fast.
So what the house system is we are divided into 4 houses. It goes along with the Harry Potter theme. Amistad, Alturismo, Isabindi, and Revere. And what that is each student had selected in the spring a house. And we are 4 houses, but 1 family at Sto-Rox Upper Elementary. So the house system will teach values. It will incorporate our PBIS, safe, respectful, responsible. And students can earn house points, which will go towards their house, and we'll have different competitions throughout the year. And the house points are very similar to the Viking Bucks, where students can earn them for being safe, respectful, responsible. The difference with the house points is we're also going to acknowledge the academic piece and the attendance piece, so they can earn house points for academics as well as attendance, and as always, for the behavior of being safe, respectful, and responsible.
Any questions about that? Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Approve the service agreement with Trinity Service for cleaning and sanitizing of all ice machines and filter replacements. Mr. Simpson, do you have any remarks? Anybody have any questions about that?
No, just real quick, I'll jump. Can I speak about all 4 of the items I have on here real quick, if that's okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the Trinity refrigeration, we just need to, per health code, ensure safe and healthy equipment for our students. This will serve all 3 schools as well as the athletics department, and it'll help support the lifespan of the ice machines, as well as provide a safe environment for our students. Pen fencing, they were the best quotes on the 3 quotes that we received for the fencing at the primary school. They're a well-known company from around the area. They will do a great job. They also had the shortest lead time. We cannot lock down a date at this point, but they did have the shortest lead time for installation. The Burke's Lawn and Saw, we had a miscommunication with the vendor. We added extra work to the job, and we did not receive the quote for the labor hours. What's on the agenda tonight is the labor hours to replace the transmission on the equipment. And then Wilco Construction, this is for doors at the junior senior high school boys restroom. This will help secure health and safety, most of all. We've had multiple issues inside the restrooms. from fights to other activities. We had a vendor earlier since I've been here that was not qualified to do the work. We never paid them for any work because they were not qualified to do the work. So we had to pivot to a new company.
Thank you, sir. Anyone have any questions about any of that? Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Number 9, approve the AIU to prepare and coordinate the annual Act 11 homestead farmstead exclusion notification, which is required by December 31st, 2025. Cost is $1.05 per piece, $250, $2.50 per thousand for address verifications, and $150 per district admin fee. Mr. Reed?
Yes, this service is used by a bunch of different districts. Basically, it just consolidates the work instead of us at, an AAU provides it, so.
Thank you, sir.
Huh.
Was
The law
legal,
firm,
right?
the legal.
I've looked into the past. We have had this done before through them. I don't know if it was last year or the year prior before that. Probably, if not, it would have been JMA. It would have come out of the business office of somebody doing the addressing and putting all the stuff together. It's just, they do it more efficiently, I would say, is the word, that they would get it done for all of the stuff that we have to send out.
She's going to check too to see. I thought it was your office last year too. She's going to check and see. Thank you. Number 11, accept the donation of 8 pairs of pants, 4 shirts, and 35 packages of pens from Mr. Scott Reed.
When I started here and saw the drive for the clothing drive, I had missed that, so I have stuff that I put together, new and gently used, pants and shirts and stuff that for the uniform, and just want to give it here. So instead of somewhere else, I'd rather donate here.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you. Accept the donation of a hair experience from Danny's Hair Loft as a donation for Upper Elementary House Point Rewards. Mrs. Johnson?
Yes, so Danny donated a experience for a student, I'm sorry, my dog, for one student to go receive an experience of getting their hair done, nails and makeup for the reward system for the house.
That's pretty cool. Thank you. Go ahead.
What if it's a boy?
Well, that won't be a prize for them. There are other sports-related prizes that we got.
Thank you.
Thank you. Approve the facility use request from Nans Martial Arts Center for the Upper Elementary Gym on October 18th and 19th, 2025 for karate tournament. Accept donations from Holy Trinity Polish National Catholic Church Parish for school supplies and teacher blessing baskets for the primary center, pencils, crayons, paper, glue, scissors, folders, snacks, sanitizer, tissues, sanitizing wipes, storage bags. Dr. Memoir?
She's not gonna be on.
Okay. Thank you. 15, accept the donation from Fair Works for a quarterly monetary donation of $2,500 per quarter for a total of $10,000 to be divided equally among the 3 schools to provide additional resources across all grades. Any questions about that? We talked about 16 already, Mr. Simpson, and 17. We will go into co-curricular leadership. Approve, ratify the social metrics as presented. Any questions about anything on here? Any comments? There's a lot going on. I love it. Mr. Simpson covered it already. That's the bathroom, way bathroom. right, moving on to number 2. Approve the useconnex.com invoice for a 20-foot standard use storage unit to be used for athletic equipment. Cost is $2,502.25. Mr. Phelps, you online?
No, I'm here. That's for, we spoke about this actually last month. Currently, the items are being stored in the
Bathroom. Bathroom.
because we're out of space. So we need to store it properly, the volleyball equipment and some of the football equipment.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Educational leadership, approve the donate matrix as presented. I'm sorry. Number 1, any questions about anything on here? Any comments? A lot going on, a lot of good stuff happening. Number 2, approve Sonia Coleman, superintendent, to attend superintendent's professional learning workshop from October 1 through 3, 2025 in Erie, PA. Any comments?
Have fun in Erie.
It might be snowing that time. Shoot, you never know. Messing with Erie.
I'm not looking forward to the drive, for the record.
Approve the 2025-26 agreement for educational services from the Bradley Center. Brittany Linson-Bigler, are you on?
Yes, I am.
All right, would you mind just talking about this for a quick second, if you can?
Yeah, it's just a renewal for the services that we're using for that private school to serve some of the needs of our students that need a little bit more support and a little bit of a smaller environment with heavier mental health and behavioral services than we currently are able to provide them in-house.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. Any questions, comments? Up next, let's regularly approve the quote for additional Lexia Learning Systems licenses for reading intervention. Mr. Tony, not Alex, Paul.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I'll hit number 4 and 5. Those are both for additional licenses that we approved last month. And Mrs. Coleman also talked about Lexia and Alex earlier in her report. Lexia is for reading intervention. Alex is for math intervention. We just had some additional funding that became available through the school improvement process, and so we are leveraging that to purchase additional licenses.
Thank you. Would you mind taking the rest of it?
Yeah, the rest of them are mine too. So number 6 is to approve SAVIS My Perspectives for grades 7 through 12, and so that's an ELA/reading curriculum resource. And so what that gives us in that quote is a class set of hard copies for all classes grades 7 through 12, plus teacher digital access, and that also includes professional development for the teacher to get it up and running effectively. If you price it out per grade level, it comes out to about $3,526 per grade level, which is super reasonable for a one-time cost. It's got student-centered design, student voice, student engagement, scaffolding is built in. There's customization, which increases relevance for the students. It's aligned to the science of reading. It's basically all the things that we're looking for in a solid reading program. So we're excited to bring that on. My Perspectives. Number 7 is the Zello quote, and that's a K-12 career readiness program. And so that gives the students different assessments along the way to gauge their career interests, interest inventories, those sorts of things, to try to identify what the student might be a good fit for in a career or next steps. It can house student portfolios that they develop along the way. It helps them with college and career research and planning. And it also collects artifacts for the Future Ready PA Index, which is the indicator that the state has put in place to measure not just state assessment scores, but also college and career readiness is one of the indicators, and this will help us to do well there. And so again, when you take that cost over 13 grade levels, it's about $276 per grade level, so very reasonable. And then last one, number 8, is Lexia English Language for ELLs, and so this is just support for our English language learners. We don't have a quote for this one yet. We're still determining a final number of students and what sort of professional development we will have go with that. But I'm estimating it's going to come in around $3,500. The licenses are $105 per student. So,
Do you know if we'll have a quote by next meeting?
yes.
Okay.
I would
Hope so.
99% sure. Yes.
Okay. As soon as you get it, would y'all mind just sending it out to us? That way we see it, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Before I go to personnel, I want to go ahead and over to our solicitor. You have anything, ma'am?
I don't have any updates at this time.
Thank you. Any committee reports? None heard. Any public comment? I just want to say once again, thank you for Superintendent mentioned earlier, all the partners that came out on Tuesday and got together. It's pretty cool. Some folks you knew, some folks you didn't know, and about how folks kind of want to come out and help our community. It's amazing. So we appreciate, excuse me, so we appreciate those wanting to come together and again move as one versus everyone move separately and do their own thing and then nothing get done. Right, so we're grateful that people want to come together and actually move as one with our superintendent, you know, and be a partner. So thank you for that. I have one more thing in the brain for it, but once again, I want to thank the community again for their part in the student search, making everyone come together. It's an amazing thing to see everyone come together, and I do want to also thank our communications rep, Mr. Richardson, for working hard and getting the ball rolling. And you know, we spoke a few different times. And again, your work is clearly being seen and done because again, we got folks who are jumping on certain things. We got folks, new board members. You know what I mean? So thank you for that because when I posted anything, you might have, you might not have, right? So thank you. Appreciate that a lot. And thank everyone, again, across the entire district for all the hard work they've been doing so far. With the beginning of the school year, our superintendent working hard, non-stop, you know, and your staff and the whole nine just busting their butts. You know, we appreciate you all a lot. Thank you. From here, we're going to go into executive session for personnel, and we will not come back. Again, we do thank everyone for coming tonight. Next meeting will be September 25th at the junior senior high school. Please come down at 7 p.m. and otherwise noted. Again, thank you all. Appreciate y'all. Have a good night. Mrs. Coleman, you want me to call you?
Yes, I just messaged you to call me.
Okay. It's some bad service, so I'll call you right now.
Okay.
Thank you.